At this year's D23 Expo, Disney revealed a brand new CGI live-action movie, Mufasa the Lion King, a prequel to the original The Lion King. Some people are left wondering if Mufasa even needs a prequel. Where did The Lion King, the first movie, leave us? Who will be returning to Mufasa the Lion King? Stay tuned to find out all the important unanswered questions we need answered. First up, when is Mufasa the Lion King going to be released? The year 2024 has been chosen for the King's story. Several of Disney's planned projects, including Inside Out 2 and the live-action Snow White remake, as well as a change in the release date for the upcoming live-action The Haunted Mansion, have just received release date announcements. Mufasa the Lion King, the computer-generated prequel to the 2019 remake of The Lion King, has been added to this list of recently disclosed release dates. On July 5, 2024, the upcoming movie will now be shown in theaters. He announced after revealing during the Disney and Pixar panel at D23 that he would be replacing Jon Favreau as the prequel film's director. Mufasa the Lion King will have a 2024 release window. The movie is awaited by the younger generation, of course, because of its plot and story, but some experts are not sure if the prequel is even needed for the film. Next up, where did The Lion King, the first movie, leave us? In order to understand the plot of Mufasa the Lion King, we need to dive back into the ending of The Lion King, the first movie. Brother Scar is the one who started the stampede, so when Mufasa is about to die, he says the four famous words, "Long live the king," as he digs his claws into his brother's paws. He then forces Mufasa to fall to his death. In the end, history repeats itself as Scar quotes Shakespeare's Hamlet when he says, "Good night, sweet prince," just before the true heir to the kingdom appears to have fallen to his death. Scar is combated by Simba and vanquished, proving that good triumphs over evil. The regal lineage is then perpetuated when Simba and Nala unionize to conceive a cub. The heir apparent to the throne and son of Simba and Nala, Rafiki, Simba, and Nala arrive at Pride Rock in the film's concluding scene. The first scene, which is nearly identical to this one with the exception that Simba is the cub, is designed to serve as a perfect end to it. The Circle of Life theme is reinforced by this parallel imagery, which suggests that everything happens in a perfectly symmetrical and self-contained loop. Next off, what can we expect from Mufasa the Lion King? Although the plot specifics are being kept secret, we do know that the movie will center on the eponymous lion Mufasa's ascent to become one of the Pride Land's greatest leaders, as seen through the eyes of fan favorites Timon, Pumbaa, and Rafiki. The origins of Mufasa and his brother Taka will also be covered in the prequel. Taka leads a life of crime and eventually earns the reputation of a villain. Taka chose the name Scar. Mufasa's cunning younger brother was set to ascend to the throne until the birth of Simba, Mufasa's son, who eventually took the throne, respectively in the primary roles. As Simba, the new king, seeks to understand his father's background and carry on his heritage, the story is purportedly portrayed through the eyes of Timon, Pumbaa, and Rafiki. The original The Lion King picks up decades later with Mufasa's offspring, so there is lots of material here to work with as a prequel. The latter is unaware of Scar's existence or the events that took place between him and his father. We know it wasn't good, and some tales claim that Mufasa's wife Nala played a role in the conflict between the brothers. We may anticipate seeing Mufasa facing the chance to treat his brother the way his brother will eventually treat him, but choosing kindness in the form of exile for his brother. We might also discover that Mufasa gave Taka to Scar that would ultimately become the foundation of his identity. Next up, who will be returning to Mufasa the Lion King? The only confirmed cast members for Mufasa the Lion King as of right now are Calvin Harrison Jr., who most recently portrayed blues musician B.B. King in Baz Luhrmann's Elvis, and Aaron Pierre Old as Mufasa. According to The Hollywood Reporter, the much-loved meerkat Timon and warthog Pumbaa, played by Billy Eichner and Seth Rogen, are reportedly planning to make a comeback. The screenplay for Mufasa the Lion King was written by Jeff Nathanson, who also wrote the 2019 screenplay for the previous computer-generated version of The Lion King. Nathanson will also work on the project as a producer. The best-known works of Jenkins are those he directed, including The Underground Railroad on Amazon Prime Video and the Oscar-winning Moonlight. Mark Suryak and Adele Romansky, the project's producers, previously collaborated with Jenkins on The Underground Railroad and Moonlight, respectively. Mufasa the Lion King will have Peter M. Tobiasen, Avatar: The Way of Water, on board as a producer. Next off, is there a trailer for Mufasa the Lion King? Even though there is no official trailer out yet for the film, we got a sneak peek at the plot in the little preview material that was provided to D23 attendees. We will witness Mufasa's battle against destiny to become the king, a storyline we were first introduced to in this prequel film. Rafiki's well-known voice starts to tell our story as we launch on Pride Rock. A juvenile lion cub can see rain approaching as we hover over Pride Rock, which is located on the opposite side of the savannah. The small lion cub is carried away by a river as a few drops of rain intensify into a downpour. He lives and is discovered by a second, unidentified lion. Back to Pumbaa, Timon, and Rafiki after that. For the preview, Timon quickly cracks a meta joke. Wait, am I not in this story? I don't feel seen. It will be fascinating to watch Mufasa mature and assert his kingship. Many doubts are raised by the preview clip alone. We now know that Mufasa was orphaned by this enormous flood. We now know that Scar was not his biological brother. To raise him alongside Scar, who is the rightful heir to the kingdom, this enigmatic lion who adopted Mufasa must integrate him into the pride. Because we all know how their relationship ends, this account of Mufasa's early years may permanently alter how we view both Scar and him. Next off, was Mufasa's backstory ever explained? The prequel genre is currently in its golden period. Disney's most well-known and beloved character, Mufasa, suffered one of the film's most tragic and heartbreaking deaths. His story is not thoroughly and in-depth examined, but from what we can gather, he is a model of courage, diplomacy, and leadership. Without him, his pride would quickly tumble into anarchy. In true Disney coming-of-age movie fashion, his absence leaves a huge hole in the spirit of the film. He kept the wolves from circling as long as he was alive. Only when Mufasa's son Simba seizes his father's remaining vigor and takes charge of the pride in the Pride Lands will the circle of life be brought back to order. A prequel would be unnecessary and even more heartbreaking given that we know how and when his character dies. We don't always need to know how things came to be that way, and a longer backstory can easily devolve into a repetition of ideas that were better served by being presented in a less is more manner. A coming-of-age film for the father who served as the cornerstone for the indestructibly popular The Lion King might, however, become a new fan favorite due to Mufasa's enduring legacy and the mystery and intrigue surrounding the events that occurred between him and Scar. Next up, how did experts explain Mufasa the Lion King? Sean Bailey, president of Walt Disney Studios Motion Pictures, addressed the crowd at the D23 Expo fan event on Friday afternoon at the Anaheim convention. Well before Simba took his place in the circle of life, another great king ruled over the Pride Lands. This is his story. Mufasa is the origin story of one of the greatest kings in the history of Pride Lions. According to director Barry Jenkins, the story of the movie will be recounted in various periods as it cuts between the present and the past. According to Jenkins, Mufasa wasn't born into a royal family. The prequel to the 2019 film, which made over $1.6 billion, will detail how he rose from a position of destitution to become the ruler of Pride Rock. Jenkins referred to the prequel as Mufasa was actually an orphaned cub who had to navigate the world alone by himself. In telling this story, we get to experience the real journey of how Mufasa found his place in the circle of life. It is pretty awesome. Given his body of work, which includes Oscar-winning movies, he responded when he asked why he felt compelled to make this one. In his essay Moonlight, Jenkins described his personal experience with the 1994 film The Lion King. When I was 14, I was helping raise two nephews, and there was a VHS tape we watched maybe 95 times in a span of 20 days. So I really knew this character. I loved him. In the universe of The Lion King, Mufasa left behind a significant legacy that is not completely explored in the film. Mufasa has played a significant role in growth and development. His leadership and wisdom continue to inspire bravery and bring about tears. Who is your favorite Lion King character? Which is your favorite Lion King movie? Make sure to let us know your thoughts down below. Thanks for watching.